Headed down here with my buddy Rob and Adrian. This is our dive 2. Our dive 1 was not very fruitful. We didn't put any fish on the boat. Team 1, their first dive, John got a really nice hogfish, a 14-pound hogfish, and Dano was also in the same boat as us, having a goose egg. So we were hoping for some better dives, and we certainly had a very productive day. But it was a slow start to our day. But when you're out in the Florida Middlegrounds, that's how it goes sometimes. And this ended up being a really productive dive for us. Nice red grouper right out the bat. So that already turns the dive into a better go for the day. That was a 10-pound red grouper. I decide to move the jug line a little bit to make sure the marker weight doesn't get hung up on any of the structure down here. And then I turn when I hear a shot and swim over, and Adrian's got himself a nice hogfish. So I do edit out a fair amount of swim time here to the next spot of action. When we talked about it later, Rob and I had different views on what had gone on there. I know I had put a very debilitating shot into that hogfish, and I was getting ready to put a second shot into it. Rob saw it different, and he went over and grabbed that spear, probably not knowing I was already, banded up and ready to put a second shot in it. Certainly wasn't going to do that while he was holding the spear. And then I decide, hey, let's get a couple photos with this fish, and this is exactly what we come out here for, is to get these Middlegrounds hogfish. And then all of a sudden, Rob takes a bead on something else, and the next thing I know, while I'm looking at my hogfish, he's got a big mutton snapper wrapped around his head. So on to the next sequence of action. We had both taken different angles going after that wounded mutton. Rob is a much faster swimmer than I am. He's an elite level swimmer. And I had a good shot on it right before I saw Rob come into my camera angle. So I thought that was a good holding shot. That mutton was just laying down there dead. But Rob goes to the other opening, and I band up and stick in the back. And that mutton decided it saw Rob and didn't want to go that way. And that's kind of how a spearfishing team will work together. When it came out the back way, I was ready to go. One way or the other, we work as a team, and that fish went on the boat. And that fish ended up being a personal best mutton for me, and was also a personal best mutton for that boat, for Rob's boat. So we were very excited that that fish came on the boat, because that fish is feeding us. Rob's letting me know that he had lost his shaft when that mutton swam off as we both went to go pursue it. So we're taking a loop around to see if we can find it. I was starting to run a little low on air, so I told Rob I was going to head up. And as I was headed up, because the visibility is still good, I'm scanning the bottom environment, and I thought I saw a hogfish, but I couldn't tell from that height. I'm about in 50 feet now, so halfway up in the water column. Wasn't sure if it was a big hogfish or was a big triggerfish. I just wasn't sure, so I was keeping an eye on the bottom and scanning it. Decision made, hogfish. So that hogfish ended up being 13 pounds. And instead of a fist bump from Rob, he said, "There's a shark that came in underneath you, so you might want to be paying attention to that." So I never saw the shark, but apparently he said it came in and just circled underneath after I had come up. So I put the line on my spear and power head on just in case I had to deal with a shark. But fortunately, we didn't have to, and it didn't follow us up.
You can back down on me. We might want the GoPro for this one. Doing good. That's all the fish right there. Bring those back here, John.
David. Like that dive.
That was it. You still got them on the stringer, John?
I can put them back on.
Yeah, toss them back on.
What you doing?
Rob got a nice hog, and Adrian got a female hog.
Okay.
Me and Rob shot those hogs at the same time. Yeah, he had shot a mutton and it ran on him.
Oh, really?
I think he lost the spear on it. And I swam it down with him, got it. Then we were coming up and I saw a hog run across the bottom. I saw him come back, swam down and got him. Came up on them and he's like, hey, there's a shark under you. I'm like, oh, great. So that was that. Heck yeah. That's what I'm talking about right there. 2 stud hogs. Mutton. Oh yeah, we'll get some pictures with that for sure. Wait for Rob to come up. He's got a stud hog also.
I'll just keep them on.
Okay.